This is my first attempt at making a video 3.5 years into a spiritual awakening. Things are pretty fucking crazy. Spiritual awakening is pretty fucking crazy, especially mine, remembering my past lives and my own life, the trauma in this life and the karma from past lives. It's a lot. It's a lot. Um, I can't hide things anymore. I don't know how to not tell the truth anymore. And the most striking thing to me about waking up is learning that you have missing puzzle pieces that have been scattered away through your entire life. What do I mean by that? Really early on in your spiritual awakening, you start to remember things that have happened to you that you had no recollection of prior. So things like sexual abuse and sexual assaults that you faced generally in childhood, but not exclusively in childhood, just that you forgot. And you kind of feel like you're going crazy because you know these things are absolutely genuine, but you never remembered them before. So what I did was I hit the internet and I started Googling, and sure enough, I found terms. One of them being dissociative amnesia. Dissociation, something I've dealt with dissociation in more days in my life than I haven't, but I never knew what the fuck it was. Um, it's basically taking a trip outside of your body and leaving your body because of things that happen to you, or just it's the state you live in because you've had so many things happen to you that you can't get back to a place of normalcy. Um, it definitely does not allow you to be complacent. Dissociation actually kind of drives you in a lot of that's not here. That's neither here or there. Um, Genuine YouTube videos, genuine conversations, not pretending to put on a social mask, but actually just being authentic. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to speak about right now is dissociation because um, I've been dealing with it my entire life, and it's very heavy, man, to have all these puzzle pieces that don't fit or that are gone. You don't know how to bring them back. It's like this game that we're playing that no one wins. It's this facet of humanity, of being human, that none of us are aware of. It's like we watch a movie where someone has repressed memories, which is Hollywood's term for dissociative amnesia, and we're watching the movie and we're completely enthralled with it. Like, wow, this person doesn't even remember their past. But like the biggest secret of all is that this is all of humanity dealing with this. Every single human has dissociative amnesia because we have all experienced traumas that were too painful for us to integrate, that we needed to forget. Sigmund Freud said a long time ago the neuroses, which is anxiety, depression, psychiatric disorders, that he usually said happens around late teens to early 20s. The neuroses happens because of the latent effect of disremembered traumatic events. Basically, all those energies still stored in your body, all those imprints that are still there, coming out to roost when you're not as plastic as you used to be, because kids are so plastic. They can really get through anything and get by anything. But eventually, you kind of stagnate as you get older. Your metabolism and everything slows down, and life is a bit more static. You're not as adaptive anymore, and things come out. And the things that come out, like Sigmund Freud said, are all those old samskaras that develop into mental health disorders and real lived issues like domestic abuse or chronic problems with family and family members, friends, inability to be a proper spouse to your partner, to be a proper parent. And that's where it gets really deep. um, I know that my soul has been working to bring this truth to humanity for a very long time, but humanity's never really been ready to accept it. And I'm not the only one. Lots of light workers and higher beings that are here try to bring this truth forward, but it's always kind of put on hold by powerful events like war and things that we have to pay attention to, so we can't really focus on the inward experience. But the outward experience is just a reflection of our inward experience, and our inward experience isn't that great. Not because life can't be beautiful, it's meant to be beautiful. It's not that great because we all have a ton of shit that we're not aware of. Forget about karma, forget about past lives. in this life right now, whoever is watching this, you have a ton of shit that you aren't aware of, or you are aware of it because you found this video and you're listening. It's like, it's heavy because it's realizing that parents, family friends, family members, peers, teachers, coaches have abused you, have assaulted you. And it's really confusing if you don't understand the deeper dynamics involved, which is they aren't really trying to hurt you. I can't guarantee you that everyone that's hurt you is innocent, because some people actually do hurt people. Some people actually hurt people, and that's the truth. But for most people, it's another term I found, I think that applies here, called fugue, a fugue disorder, which is kind of like a trauma trance. Basically, it's kind of leaving your consciousness behind in your body, all those energies and imprints coming out and being acted unto someone else. I even read in the literature that it usually happens at night, nocturnal fugues, where people, in between sleeping and waking, in a very unconscious state, will attack other people in physical and sexual ways. And that makes sense to me because in everything that I've remembered experiencing myself, the people doing these things were not themselves. It was usually in the middle of the night, and they weren't themselves. The look in the eye, the way they're behaving, of course, because they're committing a terrible assault. It wasn't them, and I knew that really early on when I woke up. I was 23 when I woke up, 23 and a half. I'm just 27 now, and I knew right away, like, yeah, like, because these people don't hurt me, because these people are part of my life, and they've shown me love pretty much every day of my life. They don't hurt me, so how did these events happen? How did they occur? It's pretty amazing that this entire species has never actually spoken about this in a public forum, or, that we don't have literature and media discussing this, because this is like probably the most important thing for humanity to pay attention to, is that we are all dissociative. Every single human being alive is dissociative. Point one. Point two, we all have this amnesia. We all have dissociative amnesia. We've all experienced events that were fucking horrible. And I can damn well guarantee that if not every single one of us, 99.99, pick your decimal point, percent of us have also fugued on other people. So I want to start talking about my own experiences, my own past lives, because yeah, you're all going to be really fucking interested in it. But first and foremost, I wanted to start by speaking a little bit about dissociation and gently easing into going forward with this channel and seeing what sort of reception this video gets, because it might not get any reception, and maybe I'm just trying this to see how it goes. But dissociation is very important to me. I wish more people were comfortable with remembering, because in my time so far, having woken up, I have tried to, maybe ignorantly, try to poke a few friends and family members to see if they have any memories, and they don't. I don't think anyone that I remember being implicated in any assault on either side knows that they have or haven't experienced these things, which leads me to extrapolate that method to all of humanity and just say that we've all been through these things, which makes me feel like we're living in a fucking nightmare carnival, like this circus where nothing actually changes or happens the right way. And I think the reason it doesn't happen the right way is because we can't remember. Because as soon as we remember, things get really stormy. And I think that most people wouldn't be as balanced as I've been. Some people might start remembering things and lashing out and committing violence and seeking vengeance. But the thing is, this work is for light workers and higher beings. That's our calling. But every single being here is implicated in this. And um, I don't know what humanity's going to do until this comes to the forefront, because until this comes to the forefront, we're not healing it. And if we're not healing it, we're not going up in consciousness and vibration, because we are not looking for those puzzle pieces. We're leaving those puzzle pieces to the side and not actually trying to finish the puzzle, which is to become whole, all of your truth in this life, and then reconnected to your past lives and who you were then, and understanding it was always your consciousness, even with a different I am. The I am might have been different, but it was always your consciousness, your soul consciousness in these vehicles, in these vessels. So it is complicated. In being a human, we have a lot of different aspects in our configuration. Like, yeah, you have your soul, you have your mind, you have the ego, you have the physiology, the genetics. There's a lot of shit going on here. You have your karma, and you have your trauma, you have your conditioning based on what time period you're in and what the ideas are in that time period. It is complicated as fuck. And some evolved humans say, life on Earth is basically the sandbox. We're in like grade 1 or 2. I think that might be true for some people, but I think for people who go deep, that's not true at all. Life on Earth is kind of difficult. I've had a very hard time in this life, in this incarnation, and there's a reason for it. It's not happening just for no reason. So, how I feel about dissociation, yeah, I feel like we collectively need to remember in order to move forward. Gaia is awake. The planetary consciousness has woken up. And we are here for planet Earth because the planet is conscious. What does that mean? It means everything we've done, she has experienced because we are her. So she experiences everything that we do. So think about that. All we've done is war. For thousands of fucking years, all we have done is war and created trauma and violence. And she's experienced all of it. So she's probably dissociative as fuck. But there was an event in 2014 that really woke her up, that really brought her, and it wasn't a nice event, it was a violent event that really got her conscious, that brought her back to waking up. Gaia is waking up. We can't change that. Gaia is waking up. Fuck me. Yeah, I'm just spitballing here because I'm not going to go into everything I have to go into because it's a lot. I'm going to post this video and see how it goes, if it gets any reception, if it gets any views at all. But yeah, humanity has a huge crux to deal with at this point in time, and that's that we have a lot of trauma and a lot of violence in our blueprint that we don't remember. And it is a serious moral dilemma for me to help, wondering, do I help people remember? Do I poke people to wake them up? Because then they're going on a path that is very painful and has a lot of suffering. That is my dilemma every single day. What do I do with this information, with what I know? How do I move forward? And it's killing me because I am not content or happy in any way, shape, or form with the systems on this planet and the way we're living. It is insufferable. It was so much easier when I was asleep, but now I am like absolutely loathing being here. Yeah, so I'll keep this video short. This video is just a sample, just a tester to see how it goes. I imagine it won't get any views, but I just decided to sit down and talk about some of the things that I've been thinking about for a long time now. Which is essentially dissociation, which is, in all my years of mental health suffering, having dealt with a lot of different illnesses, dissociation was always there, but I never had a term for it. I never even found the term for it. And it's crazy to think back, like how ignorant I was, that I never even sought to understand that part of my experience. But yeah, that is part of my experience. And I think a lot of people they know what dissociation is from when people explain. If they listen to this, they'll know they have it. A lot of people, and they'll probably be like, "Oh shit, I have that." Yeah, it's a very powerful thing, and it helps us to survive in extreme circumstances. But unfortunately, extreme circumstances happen a lot more often than we think they do, and that is one of the most painful things that we have to accept in this new age, moving into new Earth. If we actually want to create paradise, we're going to have to come to terms with all that we are, which is knowing you don't have the full puzzle. I'm sorry, but you don't. And there's nothing wrong with you for how you move forward, but we need to move forward peacefully. We need to move forward peacefully because Gaia is ready for peace. Gaia is ready for the end of war and violence. and so are most of us, but we have to make the conscious decision not to create more violence as we remember. And I think that's why we have to go slow, and that's why I am being forced by a lot of different entities and energies to try to take things slow, because humans need to move slow. So this video is just a sample of what I'm going through and what I'm thinking and dealing with in my daily life. If it gets views, cool. If it gets comments, cool. I'll keep going. But there's a lot more material I have to elucidate, that you will find very interesting, whether you believe it or not. That is very real, very genuine and true. And I hope that this video maybe shines a little light on parts of your life, aspects of your own experience, of your own consciousness. And if no one watches it, great. I'm just trying this to see if it goes anywhere. We are in the time of revelation. That's what I know for sure. I think revelation begins with putting all the puzzle pieces together, remembering. I think that's what revelation was to Jesus and masters in the past who knew that one day this time would come. So thanks for listening. I hope you found something in this video. And I wish you all the best in life, seriously. I wish you a very prosperous life with no pain, hopefully no pain. But pain is inevitable as a human. It is absolutely inevitable. So thank you for listening. Namaste.